A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the Friday night edition of the show. It's the last edition of Sports Tonight for the week. And we're here, of course, to do what we love to do, which is just to make you relax a little bit, get ready for the weekend. And no football action coming up this weekend. All that is in the air as we speak, obviously, is the build-up to the 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil. But thank you for joining us all the same. My name is Tony Ibitoye. I'm not alone. Starting off the show with me tonight, Tunde Koiki is on the show. And of course, on Fridays, we always see him around. Saheed is also with us on the program, starting the show up with us tonight. Let me welcome you guys to Sports Tonight. Tunde, good to have you.
Thank you.
Saheed, another Friday, good to have you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. No football action anywhere, but grassroots.
No, international friendlies.
International friendlies, grassroots tournaments.
Yeah.
In Lagos, we have plenty of it. We have the Milo Under 13 final. We have the GT Principal Cup final this weekend. So we will talk about all of those later on. So maybe something for you to look forward to if you are in Lagos and you are a lover of grassroots football. We'll spend time to talk about that later on the show. We're going to be starting off with the World Cup, the build-up to the World Cup. How many more days to the World Cup? What's the latest around the World Cup? We'll talk about it. And of course, on the program tonight as well, we will spend plenty of time to reflect on grassroots football. We will look back at the just concluded Channels National Kids Cup Season 6. We will also talk about the Under 13 Championship, Milo Under 13 Championship in Lagos, the Principal Cup in Oden tomorrow. We'll talk about all of that. Austin Okonapan will be joining me for that later on. Dumnadi Okonta will also be on the show. We'll be taking a look at the Globe Premier League games to be played this weekend. We will also look at the Nigerian National League matches to be played this weekend. And we will touch the Women's League as well on the program tonight. Being a Friday, we also spent some time to look at bar sports. We will have plenty of chess to talk about on the program tonight. Tunde Ogunshiku is already in the house. We're expecting Joachim to join us any moment from now. We will also look at darts on the program tonight before we wrap it up this Friday. I'm sure you will enjoy every bit of what we have on offer for you tonight. But let's start off this way. You are very key to all that we're doing. We want you to talk to us. We won't get tired of saying it, that we will be active and we will also be interactive. All right, so get ready to talk to us. Get ready to be a part of the show. You are as crucial to us on the show as Tunde Koiki, as Saheed, as Tony, as Dumnodi, as Austin, as everybody on this side. So we want you to get busy with us. Talk to us on Facebook, on Twitter, on the platforms showing on your screen. Let us know what you feel about all of the issues as we raise them on the program tonight. Without wasting any more time, gentlemen, let's continue our build-up. Saheed, that's it on the screen. 13 days to go.
13 days to go. We all can't wait. We keep counting. Last week it was when something, now 13 days to go. But the problem is there's been protests here and there. Perhaps when the World Cup kickstarts, the protests will die down. We hope it dies down. It's probably the normal syndrome there. They feel, okay, spending much on the World Cup, what is our gain? But I'm very sure by the time the players get to start playing on the field there, they will understand the benefit of hosting the World Cup.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about whether the protest will stop or not, because Tunde also believes.
I disagree. I don't think they'll stop.
Okay, you have changed your mind.
No, I don't think they'll stop. I just think it will be tempered somewhat.
A little bit.
By the progress and performances of the Brazilian national team.
Okay.
It won't entirely die out because there are a lot of people.
A lot of people that, are joining the protest. By the time the football starts, they may want to see some games.
And all that
But if
Brazil is doing well.
The thing is that government officials and major personalities in Brazil are not helping matters. The granddaughter of Joao Havelange, former FIFA president, today weighed into it and said that the people who are protesting should just get over it. And that is causing a major outcry in Brazil. That the 6.6 billion pounds that has been spent on the World Cup, that has been spent already, that they should forget about it and get over it. And that is not going down well with a lot of people. So all these things will continue to inflame the polity, continue to drive people into the streets. But when the World Cup proper starts, it might diminish a little, but not die out entirely.
Anyway, we'll come and talk about that later on. We'll talk about that later on because as we go on the show, we will also look at some of the things that the Brazilians are saying. I mean, graphic representation. We brought you one yesterday. We'll bring you another one today. But let's start with this one. This one, I mean, let's say something positive around the World Cup. The FIFA World Cup trophy has arrived in Brazil. That's the story. The trophy itself has arrived in Brazil, and that is the symbol of the competition. It has touched down in Brazil. Everybody is looking forward to it. The trophy itself is now in Brazil. What will that do to the Brazilians? Will it, now that we can sight the World Cup right there on the soil, I mean, does it change anything? The trophy is there. The symbol of the competition is here. Will this in any way appease all of those aggrieved fans?
I still believe it should. That is the World Cup we've seen over the screen there. No matter what, it will definitely appease the fan. We've had such a protest in previous...
Into those crowds. Into the crowds. They will make this trophy.
They who are protesting,
they will make this trophy.
They cannot live in this trophy. They cannot take this trophy to work.
They cannot eat it.
But we've had
this will not cure their diseases.
I'm very sure about that, but we've had protests in different World Cups and all that. At the end of the day, they get to keep quiet.
No more World Cup that we had protests.
But Tunde, exactly what is at the center of all of this protest that looks like even the trophy arriving, the teams beginning to arrive, and all of that is not in any way lowering the tension and the strife and the protests and the agitations currently building up in Brazil.
What the Brazilian people are saying is that they feel that they've been thoroughly dehumanized by their governments. That money that could have been spent in more productive ventures like schools, healthcare, education, welfare programs for the poor, improve livelihood for the middle class.
Let us appreciate the beauty of this trophy.
It's beautiful.
It is what everything.
I must admit,
awesome.
it is one of the most iconic figures anywhere in the world, easily recognizable in any corner of the world. Even in India, that are cricket mad, they recognize the FIFA World Cup for what it is. But it doesn't change the fact that the people in the country are not happy about the fact that they are having a World Cup in their country. And it still goes back to what we talked about yesterday. The people are saying, FIFA said they want 8 stadiums. You provided 12. Why? What are you trying to prove?
In our local palace there, we call it oversyllable.
Oversabi?
Prepare for 8 papers, 8 subjects.
Exactly.
You want to prepare for 12.
Okay.
And you are now messing everything up.
And some of the stadiums were built in cities that do not have professional football teams, which put the long-term futures of these stadiums in question. Yesterday we brought you a graphic representation of what the Brazilians are saying. Let us see if we can bring out something else today that the Brazilians are saying. These Brazilians are fantastic artists. They can put up with pictures that will just tell the story of what they're talking about in terms of the World Cup, the amount of money that has been spent in putting the World Cup together, and every other thing that has been agitating the minds of the average Brazilian. They've put all of these things out in picture forms, and I hope we can just see now what they are trying to say. You say a picture is worth 1,000 words?
I mean, one picture can tell 1,000 stories, really, about the World Cup and what the agitations are. Yesterday was about a young Brazilian child crying and all that was on his plate.
But we should appreciate their effort. They are really doing well. They are really prepared for this thing. Building 12 stadiums doesn't mean anything.
Now this is the picture. This is the picture. That guy is tapping a bag of money.
Cash.
That's the next picture. What's this picture saying today?
Well, like I said, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so you can interpret it different ways. It could be the Brazilian government playing with the futures of the Brazilian people with the big wigs at FIFA,
or kicking money away,
or
wasting money,
toying with money, toying their futures. It just encapsulates everything that the Brazilian people are currently feeling right now. That their government is playing football, is playing soccer with their lives and their futures.
But why not look at the gain of the World Cup, hosting the World Cup?
What gain?
They start to gain so many things.
In
terms
of
tourism, it brings about
popularity.
500,000
people coming to spend their hard-earned money.
Brazil is already a tourist at this.
Apart from that, but it has to their community.
What one event will bring 500,000 people?
That is it.
Into Brazil and turn the attention of the entire world on a country.
You don't understand.
We understand.
Let me explain it to you. You see, no matter how much the tourism that comes into the Brazilian economy, these people are saying that it will not trickle down to the people some of the hotels that were built on the lands of these indigenous people. They were displaced, and they were not provided with alternative arrangements. So some people are living in tents in the open, while FIFA and government bigs will be sleeping in 5-star hotels and enjoying the so-called luxuries of the World Cup.
So now that you are teaming up with the Brazilian people, what are you saying? We should stop the World Cup. We should not go anymore. No more football. No more World Cup.
Unfortunately, it is too late because teams are already.
So you are not going to enjoy the World Cup now. All
I'm saying is anyone who is going to the World Cup should be prepared for an extremely militarized World Cup. John Ogu was here yesterday. He said last time around in Brazil, they couldn't even go to the mall. They couldn't even walk around the city after their games. They were immediately driven into their hotels, and they spent most of the time in their hotels.
Probably the World Cup will be stadium back to hotel.
Stadium back to hotel. Stadium. And you know tourists for who they are.
How will the tourists now enjoy their money? How will the Brazilians now make money from tourism?
Now you are talking.
And all the other issues that we talked about.
So it's going to be very difficult.
Let's hear your own side. What do you feel about this issue? Talk to us. We've given you our own opinion to this issue. What do you have to say about it? Get active with us on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter. Tell us what you feel about this World Cup. Tunde says this is probably going to be the KGS World Cup ever. Just move from stadium to your hotel, back to stadium training.
Under heavy security.
And that's not what we want in Brazil. Talk to us about it. What is the way out? Can we solve this problem? Is there a way we can put all of this to rest in 13 days? Talk to us. We'll try to read your comments as we go along on the show tonight.